Hi, my name is Jarno and I'm your event tutor. My YouTube channel is all about teaching you how to plan and organize an event or festival. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or leave a comment below. But first, enjoy this video.
Hi, I'm Josh Roberts and I'm the Festival and Events Director for Mind, Body, Spirit Wellbeing Festivals. We run a range of large-scale exhibitions and conferences and workshops up and down the UK, including one at London Olympia for 20,000 visitors and one at the NEC in November for 10,000. For me, my typical day is very varied. I don't think there is a typical day. Everything's slightly different. I mean, that's the main thing that made me want to do events, is that you don't come in and it's 9 o'clock meeting, 10 o'clock emails, 11 o'clock this, filing, blah, 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 blah. It's every day is different. On a Monday you can be dealing with issues or emails, inquiries from visitors on the weekend, or you're looking at marketing plans, or you're looking at your budgets, your production. The day varies. It keeps you interested. It gets busier as the shows become closer. So as we get closer to a major show, every day it's dealing with customer inquiries or exhibitor inquiries, or making sure everything's ready for the big day. All in all, a typical day is just planning and planning and planning for any aspect of the event that could go wrong, or so it doesn't go wrong on the day. So the typical time frame of organising some of our events, for example the Birmingham show, we began the negotiations with the venue at the NEC in 2014. We began looking at the market that we had on our databases, and also what was going on in the areas that kind of saw if we had any competition. So once we'd identified Birmingham as the key area for our next show, we began the negotiations in 2014 with the venue. This took about 6 to 7 months to negotiate the date of the show, the amount of square meterage we were going to be taking up, and the price. We agreed a 2-year deal, therefore we could then secure it for the following year at a better rate, which took us up to about 2015. So once contracts had been signed around June 2015, we began putting together all the marketing material for exhibitors, for visitors and for presenters. So through the months of June to January, we worked on getting all our marketing plans together, signing up all the presenters. So we had 42 presenters, including Paul McKenna, and about 34 yoga teachers, musicians, to complete about 36 to 48 hours of free material and 42 workshops for the whole show. Then from the January we began our sales campaign. So from January to September, which was the date of the show, we had a 9-month sales campaign to sell in over 110 exhibitors. At that point, also in the January, we started our marketing campaign. The show then launched in September 2015 and was attended by 10,000 visitors over 3 days. The negotiations for the contract took so long, it took nearly a year in total, was because we had to make sure that, 1, the dates were perfect for the show, 2, that the price point was perfect for us to be able to turn a profit or to break even on the event in the first year. We retail, one of our main sources of retail or revenue comes from the retail of exhibition spaces. So we had to work backwards and kind of figure out how we could charge and what we could charge our exhibitors. So the price point per square metre is key to make sure we're not charging them too high a rate. If we charge them too a higher rate, they won't do the show because it's a launch year, and suddenly we're signing a 2-year contract and we're making no money. Also key for us was the date of when it fell throughout the year. So September, ideally we wanted a November date. We didn't have that available, so we had to go for September. This year we are in November, so that's good. We negotiated that for the second year, which kind of slowed the contract down a little bit. Also for us, we're a small team. There's 4 or 5 of us full-time. So my concentration was half on organising the NEC show, but also delivering our London show, which is in Olympia, which is a 4-day, 20,000 attendees show. So that's quite a big distraction to be doing at the same time. But yes, that's why, and it's for us to kind of agree to a 2-year deal and also grow it going forward. We had to make sure it was the best deal at the very beginning, because if you've not negotiated a good deal in year 1, then you lower your negotiation point going forward. November for us was a key date because our main show is in the May. So it gives us a nice 6-month either side of each show for kind of the ops side of things and marketing. But also from a visitor point of view, it allows us to kind of tap into that Christmas spend. You're coming into kind of December, or we're early November, so people are thinking about Christmas gifts. They're a little bit more liberal with money. Whereas in September, you're coming off the back of a summer holidays, a busy festival season. A lot of presenters are doing a lot of other shows. Also, from a presenter and talent point of view, quite a lot of them are busy with other festivals and events. We have like Festival on the following weekend, so having that 6-month gap kind of clears our calendar a little bit and also kind of taps into more revenue spend from customers. So the whole festival contains about 42 presenters. We have a large number of talent that comes to the show. Our managing director Mel looks after programming all of that. So when we're putting together the programme, what we need to focus on is who's going to be the highest profile speaker. Our event has sell-ons, so you pay an entry ticket to attend the event, which includes lots of free things, exhibitors, etc. But then we also have a paid-for conference programme on top. So it's key to make sure that we've got the best presenters in the key spots on the Saturday. Saturday being a weekend, you get a lot more footfall and visitors, but also looking at maximising the room capacities for each slot throughout the day. So for example, if you've got a 300 capacity room, you want to make sure your best speakers are in those rooms. You also want to make sure that all your best speakers aren't going head to head with each other at the same time. There's no point having 2 sellout workshops or 2 300 capacity workshops on at 1 o'clock on Saturday if you've only got one workshop that can hold that kind of capacity. Also, you want to look at making sure that on a Friday or a Sunday, which can be slower days in events, that you've got something that will draw in the audience. Having everything on a Saturday, all this, so it slightly contradicts what I just said. Saturday is the busiest day, and it's great to have the big names because you will definitely sell the tickets. But looking at giving an attraction on a Friday or a Sunday, whether it's with a high-profile speaker or a lower ticket entry price, it's always a good way to push up numbers. So for me, as kind of the operational side of things, a production plan is key. It's the place where I put everything that I need to know about the running of the show, starting with the build-up, when we've got deadlines for some of the marketing, when we've got things like programs, t-shirts, photo booths being delivered on site, when they need to be ordered by, and then running into the more kind of mundane details such as what time cars are arriving on site, the registration numbers of the cars, the name of the drivers, what time are we laying carpets, what time are we doing markouts, what time are we doing rigging, what time does the show start. All this kind of stuff goes into my production plans. The key thing for me is that if I wasn't at the event, someone could pick up this plan and run it without me. That's the key thing for me, is to know that everything that I've done in the 6 months of planning has been put on a piece of paper, so if the worst happens, someone can pick it up and run. We have numerous contractors, and we deal with all different types of the venues, different departments. So someone like the NEC or Olympia, you're looking at kind of 8 or 9 different departments you're working with when you're launching or running an event like we do. So it's key that everyone has one document that tells them everything that they need to know. So yeah, for me, a production plan is pivotal. I think if you don't have one, then you're going into it slightly dark, and there's only going to be one consequence, and it's not going to be a good one. So once you've done all your pre-planning on site, you need to make sure that everyone knows their responsibility when you're on site. The key thing is you can't deal with everything. It's something that's taken me a little bit of time to learn with. I like to be one of those people that has everything in control, and I like to know everything that's going on, but you need to let some stuff go and delegate it out. So for us, when we're on site, everything comes through me, so I know what's going on at all times, but I make sure that I have people that are free to equip and manage situations. For example, we have a health and safety officer who works full-time during the event, and he is there to deal with any health and safety issue that arises, and also to walk around the event to kind of notice anything that could happen. Alternatively, we have team leaders for workshop and conference sections. We have head of security who deals with the security side of things. We have artist liaison managers who meet presenters and take them to where they need to go. So the key thing when you're event managing is that you've got all these people that you can trust underneath you, and that they know what's going on, which again is why the production plan is key. You can then give them a copy and they can run off your itinerary, but you can't spread yourself too thin. You've got to be there to deal with the big situations and make sure everything's running smoothly, and you can't do everything at once. So it's key to delegate, it's key to have people you trust, but it's also key for you to make sure they know what they're doing, and that's your responsibility. So for us, quite a large part of our marketing campaign is based in digital. So we do digital advertising on the tubes, things like that. But one of the big things that everybody uses and is free for anyone to access is Facebook and other social media networks. For us, with our audience demographic, we kind of focus more towards Facebook. If I was recommending anything to any event organisers, I'd say look at who your audience are. Ours are primarily female between the age of 30 and 55. And they tend to live on Facebook. They're not on Instagram or Snapchat. So we put the majority of our marketing in there. We have about 35,000 followers on Facebook. and our Twitter account has about 10,000. The majority of our marketing spend for social media goes into Facebook. This is because we have a better conversion rate compared to things like Twitter. So we put a lot of money into Facebook to promote the events. We rely on things like Facebook Live. We also have a Facebook event page, which is super easy to create, and therefore all our presenters then invite their friends, their followers, and we build it up from there. I think our Facebook event for London, the festival that's just gone, had over 1.1 million reach. So the power of social media is incredible. Sometimes it's not great with the paid element of it, and it's hard to measure that, and it's sometimes I think it's a waste of money. But Facebook as a tool to engage and interact is priceless. So for us, it's important to know who our audience is. So we make sure that we do extensive market research. At each event, we offer promotions and competitions where people fill in data and information about them. Also, when we are taking bookings, we're collecting data from people about when their birthdays are and dates like that. It's key for us to know who our demographic is because we have to find them and reach them, and it's also key for us because we have exhibitors that pay good money to be at the show, and we have to be able to deliver an audience that they want. There's no point having a men's ale company at our show when the majority of our attendees are female vegetarians who don't drink. You've got to understand your audience, otherwise your event there's no purpose to it. For us, when we're doing the budgets, our biggest expenses fall into the venue. For a venue in London, you're looking for our scale event a 6-figure amount. The second biggest cost for us is security. With the severe terror warning that's going on here in the UK, we have to have very, very large amounts of security at events, including sniffer dogs, full bag searches for all attendees. When you have 20,000 visitors, that's a lot of bags to check, and that kind of price does rack up. The third biggest cost for us is split between marketing and staff. Obviously, I'm excluding the overheads of the team that run the event over the year. I'm just looking at it from an event budget, not the company budget. But yeah, they're the biggest three for us: is the venue, security, and then personnel and marketing. For me, when I'm speaking and negotiating with a venue, the main things I'm looking at doing is securing the price and the bottom line. With a venue, you want to make sure that the price you're paying in year one is not going to cripple you in year 2, 3 and 4. Venues, like any business, need to make a profit and need to turn an increase in revenue year on year on year. So when you're going in and negotiating year 1, you want to make sure that they're giving them enough room in year 2 and year 3 for them to put a little bit on the price, but not for that to hit you in your bottom line. So when we were negotiating with the NEC, for example, we were looking at what we're going to pay in year 1, but looking at our budgets and what we can reasonably charge our exhibitors in year 3, 4 and 5. Then we work out our cost per square metre on that, and then take it back to what we can do in year 1 and try and negotiate the best deal you can. Also, what you want to negotiate in is venue access to other areas of their departments, such as their marketing team. The venue have an untapped database there that they contact for their own shows, that they collect for everyone that attends, and their budget is going to be a lot higher than yours at collecting that kind of information. They also know people that are going to come to their venue anyway, so you've done half the challenge. They know where their venue is, they've been to events there before, so why won't they come to yours? So you negotiate into your package, mail out, social media shares, competitions, all that kind of stuff is great to get in. For me, what makes a conference or an event special is creating an experience for a visitor. So they know what they're getting, so they know what's going to be there, they know who's going to be speaking, or they know how much it's going to cost or where the venue is. It's the little things on top that they're not expecting is key for me. For example, one of the things we have at the show is a free photo booth. People take their photos, they print out photos, they have that memory of the show while they were there. Free goodie bags, free samples, anything that adds additional value to the experience, because you want a visitor to come enjoy it, get the content they subscribed for, but also you want them to receive things that make them feel like you've really thought about them as a visitor. And that, for me, that's key. And if you keep satisfying them more than they expect, then they'll keep coming back.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Jarno, your event tutor. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and do check out my other videos. See you next time.